So this is going to be a quick tutorial to show you how to make a similar sound to Dillon Francis's Bootleg Fireworks, the synth at the drop. Once we're done, we're going to end up with something that sounds something like this. So basically what's going on here is we're making a kick drum sound and then throwing distortion on it. That's the basis of the effect. Getting it tighter and locked into the sound is just messing around with distortion types. But this is just going to be more conceptual to show you the basic idea behind it. So right here we have the same basic pattern, but this is just a synthesized kick. I make a similar kick in a past tutorial, but for right now this is what the sound sounds like. It's a basic synth or sine wave pitched down quickly to create a kick drum sound with the use of envelopes. Basically what we do to change it into this this Dillon Francis synth is we bump up the octave, so now it sounds a little bit more like a tom, a synthesized tom, and we'll adjust the position on this wavetable to get to a triangle wave. Once we have that, then it's just a matter of throwing distortion on here. And that's pretty much what the sound is. To start from scratch, we're going to go ahead and bring up a Thor. Make sure yours is initialized, because mine is. And we're going to get a wavetable oscillator. You can use different oscillators. All we really need is a triangle wave, but I like using the wavetable for my basic waveforms. We're going to turn the crossfade off. By default, it's going to be on sine wave. We want it to be on triangle, so we adjust its position a bit. About a quarter of the way around will get us to triangle wave. Octave is already at the right octave. It's normally for the kick drum we'd bump it down, but we want to octave up, so we just leave it. Take off this filter, and now we want to start using these envelopes. So first we want this mod envelope to give us our punchy or our clicky effect for the kick drum. And so what we're doing is we're having this mod envelope affect the pitch, or quickly turn the pitch of this down. So I'm going to go ahead and select the mod envelope for the source and the destination to be oscillator 1 pitch. Changing the amount is something that you can do to your own taste. I think that around 30 works pretty well for this effect. We're not quite to the right effect because this envelope hasn't been adjusted yet. So we're going to bring this release all the way down, and we're going to bring this decay. Feel free to mess around with this to get how you want, but I think around 500, 600 sounds pretty good milliseconds. We have our basic pitch effect that we want. Now we'll mess around with this amp envelope. We want to bring the sustain all the way down so it decays into nothing when we hold the note down. We want to bring the decay down because that's way too long for this sound. Mess around with it to see what you like. I think around 1.5, 1.3, 1.2, 1.4, anything in that general range sounds good to me. So I guess I'm going to be using a 1.33 right now. You can bring the release up. It gives this sort of sustain after you release the note, but I like it to be all the way down so you can get a little bit tighter and have it cut off as soon as you take your finger off. In my opinion, it sounds good. I'm going to bring this to mono retrig, so only one note plays at a time. Instead of multiple notes playing at one time, if I hold multiple notes. And this is pretty much it for the Thor. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a distortion. So creative, Scream 4 distortion is what we want. Messing around with distortions is a lot of fun, and you can get a lot of cool sounds. But to go for this sound that we're going for, this Dillon Francis-y sound, we're going to go ahead and select Tube Distortion. And we're going to bump up the damage control. And we're going to turn up this P1 a little bit as well. Oh, it's a lot of fun to play around with. The only other thing that I think I did up here is I threw on a maximizer. And this is personal preference on, basically all I'm using it for is boosting up the level. You could also boost up the level with a master, or either of the masters. There's a couple different ways you could boost the gain. Or you could just do it in the mixer. But I personally like using the maximizer, so that's why I have it. Yeah, and so that's pretty much the sound. I'm going to leave this video here because I don't want it to go on too long. But messing around with the distortions is a lot of fun. You can get hardstyle kick sounds. You can get all different interesting kick distortions or synth sounds that you weren't aware of before. But mainly just mess around with it. I wanted to keep it simple just so that it's easy to mess around with or fun to mess around with. So hopefully you got something out of this, and thanks for watching.